Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another special pen, and this is a special pen because of a number of reasons, and I will go into this in all of those reasons. So this is a Visconti Homo Sapiens, and this is an exclusive that Emmy from penventure.com was able to collaborate with Visconti and have made. So this is a collaboration between Penventure and Visconti to create a Visconti Homo Sapiens pen. So that's the first special part of this pen. The second special part is that this was to commemorate the first year anniversary of his online pen store in Romania. So he opened his pen store in October 2018, on the 10th of October 2018, and he had this pen made in October 2019. The third part of this special is that there are only 50 of these made worldwide, and the final part is that this is a prototype, so not one of the numbered editions. So this is actually from Emmy's personal collection. So I want to thank Emmy for sending me this special pen on loan for review. So let's unbox the pen. So if I remove the lid, you will see here the Homo Sapiens Penventure. Now if I just lift the bed here and remove that, you'll see a number of items. The first is an international warranty card. And then the second is the ID card. And as you can see here, this is number 00 of 25. So this is the prototype, or a prototype of this pen. So let me take the pen out of this sort of a padded bed. Now, this, as I mentioned, is Emmy's own pen, so this has been inked up before. It has been cleaned out. There is some water residue in this pen. If you have a Homo Sapiens demonstrator, you'll know it's extremely difficult to get all of the water out of the pen once you've cleaned it. So this comes in two different trims. It comes in a rose gold trim and a rhodium trim. This is the rhodium trim, and you can see here it says on the cap band here Homo Sapiens and then 00 of 25, and you'll also see here on the body it is engraved Penventure, and that is Emmy's store name. So this is a Homo Sapiens pen. It comes in 25 rose gold trims and 25 rhodium trims, so a total of 50 pieces worldwide. So it is a very limited edition pen. It's that lovely red resin. Now there is one additional special thing about this pen, is that I have not known Visconti to do a mix of lava resin and normal resin within the same pen, and this was a specific that Emmy wanted to do for his anniversary pen. So I think let's uncap the nib, and you'll see here it's got an 18 karat gold 750. This is a medium nib. So this is one of the new style Visconti 18 karat gold nibs. You just see it there. Now, I have had experience of these. I have one on my Visconti Manhattan Arco, which I purchased about a year ago now, and I find it's a very stiff, very rigid nib, very dry writer, so it'll be interesting to see how well this writes. Now, as you can see here, you have the cap that is made of that mix of lava and resin. Now this is basaltic lava. You also have the Visconti My Pen finial, so you can swap that out for your initials or a gemstone. You have the standard bridge clip, and this is a very springy clip. You have a basaltic lava section here with the hook safe lock mechanism. You also have a double reservoir, and it's a power vac filler. So if I unscrew this and you pull it out, you basically put the pen in a bottle of ink and then you push it down and then it just sucks the ink up, and then you screw the power vac back down again. So this is a Visconti Homo Sapiens, and I really do like the Homo Sapiens models. I was amazed that we were able to get a lava resin mix with a regular resin demonstrator, so I think Emmy did very good there. I'm amazed also that it has the new 18 karat gold nibs. These come in extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and a 1.3mm stub nib. Emmy sent me a medium nib because he knows that I like medium more than anything, and I just do like the Homo Sapiens. So I do like that this is a Homo Sapiens, and I do like that it really, for me, ticks all of the boxes. The one thing I like about the Homo Sapiens, I love the size in my hand, I love the weight of them, I love the thickness of the section, I love that the double reservoir will allow the pen to hold up to 2.5 milliliters of ink, and that I can also see when the ink is getting low. Whereas with a cartridge converter or a piston filling pen, most of the time you cannot see that. So for me, the Homo Sapiens models always tick all of the boxes for me. Now, I do have another Visconti that is quite similar to that, and that similar Visconti is the Caput Mundi, which you can see there. Now, that red is actually quite a different red, and I do like that lighter red than, although I really do love my Caput Mundi red, I do like the red in the Visconti Homo Sapiens Pen Venture pen. So for me, that is also a win. So I think let's remove the Caput Mundi. And I think what we'll do is we'll do a size check, we'll do a weight comparison, and then we'll do a writing sample. So the length of the pen, we are looking at around about 145mm in length. The cap, we are looking at around about 59mm in length. The length of the body of the pen, from the tip of the tines, we're looking around about 132, maybe 133mm in length. We'll do a weight check. So, the full weight of the pen, uninked, is just over 41.5 grams. If you're going to add 2 to 2.5 milliliters, that's going to be around 43.5 to 44 grams once full. The weight of the cap is 17 grams. It's a heavier cap because it is that lava resin mix. And then the weight of the body is just over 18 grams. So again, another 2 to 2.5 grams for 2 to 2.5 milliliters. It's going to be around about 20 to 20.5 grams in weight when it's fully inked up. But for me, these really are a great size pen to be writing with. I find that these are very comfortable on a long writing session. I will typically, when I do a long writing session, if I'm writing a letter, I will burn through a cartridge converter in a single writing session. And I'm always having to try and refill them. So for me, I do like not only having a large ink capacity, but also being able to see what amount of ink is left, so I can then work out when I need to re-ink the pen. But for me, I do like the Homo Sapiens range. So I'd like to thank Emmy for sending me this pen for review, and also being able to do that collaboration with Visconti. I think this is a great pen, and I think ultimately it's a good addition to the Homo Sapiens range. Now, this pen isn't cheap. none of the Homo Sapiens are. This pen retails at penventure.com for €950, including VAT, that's European VAT or tax, and then it's €799 excluding VAT or European tax. Now, Emmy has also been gracious enough to give all viewers a 5% discount off of anything from his store, including this pen, so you can get 5% off if you so wish to order this from penventure.com, and I'll put the link here and in the description so that you can go direct, click direct to his store. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have the Visconti Belgica, we have the Visconti Watermark, we have a Visconti Opera Master Crimson Tide, we have a Visconti Last Templar Jacques de Molay, we have a Visconti Medici Il Magnifico, we have the Visconti Homo Sapiens Penventure, we have the Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Swirl, we have a Visconti Homo Sapiens Marzi, we have a Visconti Camelot, and we have a Visconti Speakeasy. So, I was in two minds to ink this up with Visconti Bordeaux. Visconti Bordeaux is the only red ink that Visconti have in their range. And although I love the ink, it's actually quite a dark ink, so I thought it may not actually look as nice in this pen. So I decided I'm going to actually ink it up with a lighter red ink today. And this is Pelikan, Edelstein, and this is Garnet. And this is a ink that I am really starting to like a lot. So let's ink this up. So we will unscrew the power vac and immerse the nib. And I'm not going to do a full fill. There are ways that you can get a maximum fill out of this. And I'm just going to wipe the section dry because this is a Homo Sapiens lava, so it will absorb ink into this porous section. So I think let's just put the cap back on and then we'll do a writing sample. So this is the Visconti Homo Sapiens Penventure. So we'll do Visconti Homo Sapiens Penventure. I'll put a hyphen there because there is a hyphen on his website. Now, it is a medium 18 karat gold nib. The ink in here, as I said, was Pelikan, Edelstein, Garnet. Now, this is a medium nib. It's an 18 karat gold nib. Now, this is not my pen, and this is going back to Emmy, so I don't want to push this too hard, and I'm always very respectful of other people's pens. But I will push this a little bit more so that you can see the kind of line variation you're going to get out of it. It's a little bit more. It's not a massive amount more, possibly pushing almost double the line variation. And if I do the figure of eights, you'll see there the kind of line width that you are going to get out of this pen. Now, in terms of ink wetness, let's have a look here with a horizontal pass and then a vertical pass. So this is what I would call a very wet nib, and I actually do like how this writes. You can see here it has a very large amount of ink flow. The T here is still wet, even the KT for carat and gold is still wet here, and all of these lines here are still wet, and you can see by the ink smear that it is a very wet pen. This actually reminds me a lot of my 23 karat palladium nibs. Now this is a Bock nib, just like the palladium nibs were. You could get some palladium nibs that were very fire hose wet and some that were very dry. This, I would say, is between a very wet and a fire hose nib, but it writes very, very well. It's not 100% smooth. It has a little bit of feedback to it, maybe say a 10% feedback to the nib, but that doesn't bother me, and I do actually like feedback on my nibs now, and not just a glassy, buttery, smooth nib. Now, is there anything that I don't like about this pen? Well, quite frankly, no. I like Homo Sapiens. I really do like the range. I do like that these are perfect in the size of my hand, and there really isn't anything that I dislike about the Homo Sapiens. If I wanted to nitpick, sometimes you can find the enamel flakes off on some of these clips, but I've only had that out of 65, I think, pens. I've only had it happen on one pen. So I think that is quite a rare occurrence on Homo Sapiens, so that wouldn't bother me. The only thing is that not everybody likes engraving on pens. I never used to like it, although I have a lot of pens that are engraved. I have ASC, Armando Simone Club pens, I have Edison pens, I have Stipulars, I even have some Viscontis with other retailer exclusives. I completely understand why Emmy wanted Penventure on the pen, because it is an anniversary pen for his 1 year anniversary. Outside of that, there really is nothing that I can find wrong with this pen. It's a hook safe lock. It has generous ink flow, and it just, for me, writes very well. So again, I'd like to thank Emmy at penventure.com for loaning me his prototype version here of the Penventure Visconti Homo Sapiens pen for review. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.